Welcome to A White Woman in Distress. I'm Amber, your host, and this is a special mini-series dedicated to unknown persons. Over time, remains have been found, or bodies of those who are remembered only as Jane or John Does. These nameless victims, the unidentified souls who left behind stories that have yet to be told. In each episode, we'll explore the details of their disappearances, any mysteries surrounding their deaths, and the efforts to uncover their identities. Though they may be forgotten by many, we are here to shine a light on their cases. If you recognize any of the photos or details, please reach out to the local FBI, Namus, or your local authorities. This content may include sexual assault, murder, violence. Listener discretion is advised. Please hang out, tag along, and let's get started. Today, we explore one of Vermont's most chilling unsolved mysteries, which was the discovery of 3 unidentified bodies found off of a logging road in East Middlebury in 1935. Despite decades of investigations, these souls still remain unknown. Today, we honor their memory by sharing their story in hopes that someone may have the answers needed to bring them justice. On May 15, 1935, 2 women, Grace Daig and her daughter Inez Perry Masterson, were picking flowers in the dense forest of East Middlebury, Vermont, when they stumbled upon something shocking, a human skull. Their discovery led authorities to a shallow grave where the remains of 3 individuals were uncovered, a woman and 2 children, all brutally shot execution style. A .38 caliber bullet, likely fired from a Colt automatic, was found nearby, confirming this was a triple homicide. Investigators believe that the murders occurred between 1930 and 1934. The woman, estimated to be 35 to 45, was small. She was about 5'2". Alongside her were 2 children, a boy between 13 and 15 years old, and another child, likely between 9 and 11 years old. The second child's gender was uncertain, further complicating the case. The scene provided scarce yet intriguing evidence. They found pearl buttons, presumably from pajamas, feathers, and rope fragments. A blanket and a striped awning were also discovered nearby. One of the boys had gold bands in his teeth, presumably from an early form of orthodontic work, suggesting the victims weren't homeless or runaways. Forensic scientists from Harvard University were called in to assist. Anthropologist George Woodbury and Ernest Houghton suggested the victims might be of American descent due to their physical characteristics and the quality of their dental work. This theory led to the belief that the remains belonged to Cora Golden and her 2 children who disappeared from Milton, Vermont in 1923. However, archival research in the 1980s shattered this conclusion when it was discovered that Cora died in 1938 and her children were found alive in Connecticut. DNA testing later confirmed that the Goldens were not connected to the East Middlebury trio. Despite this setback, investigators continued to search for answers. One curious testimony came from a hunter named Edward Munso, who recalled smelling a terrible odor while hunting in the area in 1932, but he didn't investigate it further. Could he have passed near the bodies just after they were buried? So my thought process is, because I also hunt, if I was in the middle of the woods and I smelled something weird, I'd probably go look at it because decomposing bodies do not smell like skunks. So I would immediately want to go check it out just to see what that smell is and just to make sure that everything is good, Because it seems weird that he was like, yeah, I smelled something terrible and I just left. Did you? Were the victims drifters, possibly fleeing from a dangerous situation, or could they have been targeted due to ties with organized crime, or was this a personal vendetta? Despite these theories, no leads have produced results, and the case has grown colder over the decades. Over the years, forensic advancements have helped to some extent. Facial recognitions were created for 2 of the victims, offering a glimpse of what they might have looked like. Though DNA testing was inconclusive for the second child, it is suggested a parent-child relationship between the woman and one of the boys, leading investigators to believe the 3 were likely family members. Despite the advancements and continued interest, the case remains unsolved. The victims were buried in Middlebury Cemetery under a gravestone that reads, 3 souls only known to God. It stands as a somber reminder of lives lost without justice. Investigators haven't given up hope. They believe somewhere, someone holds the key to unlocking the truth about these victims and who they were. Perhaps a descendant from a long-lost family line is still out there, unaware of the answers to this mystery that lie within their history. If you have any information that could help identify the woman or children found in East Middlebury, please contact the Middlebury Police Department at 802-388-3191 or the Vermont State Medical Examiner's Office at 802-863-7320. Even the smallest detail could bring this family closure, and it could end this decades-old unknown case. Thank you for listening to this episode of A White Woman in Distress. Please subscribe, share, and I'm on Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. Together, we can continue to bring awareness to these cold cases and work towards justice for the forgotten. Until next time, stay safe and vigilant, and remember, if you see something, say something and do something.